Payback. Chapter 43. Payback is a bitch, and the bitch is back. Clad in black overalls and a long black coat, I am disguised with a red wig and blue spectacles. When the cab pulls up in front of a small house on the outskirts of town, completely secluded from society and the outside world, I hand the driver his money and step out. It's been 2 months since my visit to Zimbabwe. After cutting Jacob's body into pieces, I buried them and left. Then I kept a low profile for some weeks before flying to the Maldives. I have been here for a week trying to put everything together, and what makes this even more exciting is that the whole family is here. Bernice and her mother came over to obviously see the baby. Well, this will make my job easier. I saw on social media that Anish reported Jacob missing when he didn't come home from what she had assumed was a lunch date out with friends. There's been a search for him, but to no avail. She's even offering a large sum of money to anyone that has information about his whereabouts. The best place to look for a man like Jacob is hell. That's where he belongs. I hope he is burning. Asterisk. I slowly push open a gate and step inside, walking along a path to the front door. When I knock, the door swings open and Clyde ushers me in. Clyde is someone I met through a friend of Ruby's. He is a criminal as well as a drug lord, and he has been helping me. He leads me into a room where Oscar and his family are tied to chairs. Autumn, Leslie exclaims when I walk in. I have taken off the wig and glasses. Her eyes bulge like a lizard's, pure shock written across her face. Oscar swallows and stares at me. Autumn. If it isn't my late husband and his family, I smile and walk closer to them. What's the meaning of this? His mother and sister ask at the same time. We are about to have a party. I just found out my best friend and husband are alive. Doesn't that call for a celebration? Hurt to say I told you so, Oscar says, staring at his mother and sister. Clyde. I click my fingers and signal I would like some wine. Clyde walks back in and hands me the bottle of wine. Excellent, I say. I will be in the other room if you need me, Madam Miller, he says. Thank you, Clyde. I open a bottle of wine and pour myself a glass. Are you ready for a glass? I ask, but none of them respond. I am glad you are all here. You made my job so easy. So we can get started. I take a large sip of my wine and stare hard at Oscar. He can't even look at me, bastard. Bernice, I would like to start with you. The rest of you should shut up. And who are you to tell us what to do? Her mother asks. I pull out a gun from my pocket and place it on the couch. I am in charge over here. One silly move and you are all gone. I am not even joking. The place you sent to me for 5 years made me ruthless. What do you want? Bernice asks. You think tying us up like criminals will make my brother love you? And so what if you now know that they both didn't die? You know, I always wondered why you never liked me, Bernice. I am glad you know I didn't like you. Actually, none of us have ever liked you. My brother had to pretend to like you so we could achieve the plan. Interesting. So why exactly didn't you like me, Bernice? Why? Her mother wants to respond, but I shoot her a serious look and signal for her to shut up. Do you need to ask why I hate you? You ruined my parents' marriage. We were a happy family before you came along. I clap my hands together. Wow. What an amazing story you were fed by your mother. I laugh before I take a large sip of wine. Bernice, what would you do if I told you Jacob wasn't actually your biological father? What would you do if I told you your mother cheated on her husband and you are a product of that affair? What? Bernice stares at me, then at her mother. That's the stupidest thing I have heard in years. Oh, you can confirm it with your mother. What sort of drama is that? Her mother asks me, feigning innocence. Tell them the truth. Tell your children you are a cheat too. Tell them your marriage wasn't even perfect to begin with. Tell them Jacob only married you because you got pregnant. You weren't even in a relationship. Autumn, stop, yells Oscar. Stop. You won't get anything by lying against my. These aren't lies. Bernice isn't Jacob's child. Mom, what is she talking about? I grab my gun, ready to point it at their mother when she says, It's true, Bernice. Jacob isn't your father. I cheated and our marriage was never perfect to begin with. How could you? She yells. You lied to me my whole life. Tears are running down Bernice's eyes, and if she wasn't a bitch I would have felt sorry for her. So Leslie, quick question. What? She says coldly. All the times you showed up battered with bruises that your alleged boyfriend had inflicted on you. What happened? Not that I care, I am just curious. That's none of your business, Autumn, and I think you should let me go. My child needs me. This battle isn't for me. But you were willing to be part of the battle when they told you they needed revenge against me. I was just doing what any normal wife would do for a husband. It's nothing personal. Oh, you are the kind that dies for love, our modern-day Romeo and Juliet. I bet hell will be bearable for you since you will be with your loving husband. You are going to kill us. Yes, I will. I will kill you like I killed Jacob. What? His wife exclaims. I found Jacob in Zimbabwe. He was married to another woman. I killed him. I cut him into pieces and buried him. You are sick, Oscar says. Sick. You want to know what sick is? I take a big gulp of wine and pick the gun, then without hesitation I shoot Oscar in the leg. No, his mother cries. I point the gun at her and shoot twice, in the arm and in the leg. There is blood flowing out of their wounds and noise everywhere while everyone is screaming. I am laughing out loud, gasping for breath. I laugh so hard tears start to run out of my eyes. What's so funny, Autumn? Bernice asks. Are you talking to me? I ask, wiping my face with the palm of my hand. Can't you see this is funny? There's nothing funny about that you just did, Autumn, she shoots back. Are you calling me crazy? I point the gun at her. No, please don't do this, she pleads. I will spare you, but you have to laugh. What? Please do it, my child. Laugh, her mother says. She will shoot you. Bernice looks at her mother and frowns, then she looks at me and forces a laugh. I watch her for a few minutes before I tell her to stop. I am sure you all know I am not joking, and don't you dare call me sick. Please spare me, Autumn. I just had a child and I know you love children and wouldn't want him to pay for our sins, Leslie says. I look at her as rage sweeps through me. You fool. You took me to prison knowing fully well I was pregnant. How dare you tell me to feel for your child? Did you feel for mine? Did you all feel for me because I am someone's child too? I am sorry. I don't give a fuck about your sorry, Lassie. You messed up. I welcomed you into my life and home and you chose to ruin my life like that. I turn to Oscar. And you, I hope you know heaven has no rage like love to hatred turned, nor hell a fury like a woman scorned. Autumn. This is. Don't talk. I want you to do something for me. I have prepared some documents and a will that you need to append your signature on. You will leave all the money and assets you own in Peace's name. What is that supposed to mean? You know I can't be arrested for killing you and Leslie. You are already dead. No one dies twice. And I went to jail for the money that you currently have, so it rightfully belongs to me. I will do no such thing. Oh, Clyde. The documents. Clyde walks in with the documents. Make him sign. Let him also write his account details on the back. When Bernice tries to protest, I grab a knife from Clyde and slash across her chest. She grunts. That will teach you to shut up, I say before I turn to Oscar. I will shoot your mother right now if you don't do what I ask of you. Your choice. I point the gun at his mother. Back quote, 1, 2, 3, 4. I will sign, he says. I thought as much. While Clyde makes Oscar sign the documents, I sit down and drink my wine. All done, Clyde says. Thank you. Please keep those documents safe for me. I will be done in a bit. Can we go now? Asks Leslie. The show has just begun. Who wants to die first? Silence. Who wants to go first? Oh, I will decide for you. I point the gun at their mother and shoot her in the face 3 times as fast as I can pull the trigger. Autumn, no, they scream. Clyde, I call. Please, Autumn, please, we can talk about this. Tears stream down Bernice's face.